This is an intermediate English listening practice. It comes from Book 5 of the Intermediate English Comprehension series, which has over 3,000 positive reviews on Amazon. Listen carefully and use the subtitles to improve your vocabulary and comprehension.
What is beauty? Since the dawn of time until the present day, humans have had ideas about what beauty means to them. However, attitudes about female body shape, skin color, hairstyle, and weight have changed with time and across different cultures. In ancient times, looking healthy was considered good-looking. Female beauty meant possessing wide hips for having children and large breasts. In those days, ill people often died, so being fit and healthy was considered beautiful. If a woman looked skinny or sickly, she would not have many admirers. It was the Greek philosopher Plato who equated beauty with symmetry. He created the golden ratio, which he applied to the human face, amongst other things. He found that the width of the perfect face measured 2/3 of its length. Amazingly, more than 2 millennia later, modern-day scientists have tested the golden ratio and learned that Plato was right. We do find facial symmetry attractive. We have all heard the phrase, blondes have more fun. However, that depends on the period of history we are talking about. Blonde hair was desirable in Roman culture when women would dye their hair blonde using a combination of goat fat, pigeon droppings, vinegar, and ash. Unfortunately, this caused many Roman women's hair to fall out. However, in the Middle Ages, blonde hair became less sought after and naturally blonde women started to darken their hair with lye. In Europe during the 17th and 18th centuries, pale skin was fashionable among rich people. This was because poor people worked outside all day, which meant they had suntans. Back then, having lighter skin showed a person's wealth. This was also when it became fashionable for women to be voluptuous, as being skinny was also linked to poverty. The 1900s saw many changes in ideals of beauty. In fact, this changed almost every decade. For example, in the 1920s, it was no longer fashionable for women to have curves, and many wore special underwear to hide their hips. This changed in the 40s and 50s when once again a fuller figure was back in vogue. What about non-Western ideas of beauty? One example comes from the Kayan people, who are an ethnic minority in Burma. Some Kayan women wear brass neck rings, which gives them the appearance of a long neck. In fact, they are sometimes known as giraffe women by tourists, although this name is not very polite. For these Kayan women, having a longer neck makes them feel more attractive. A similar example would be lip plates, which today are worn by both males and females in a handful of groups in Africa and Amazonia. This practice involves inserting a wooden circular plate inside the bottom lip, which stretches it. As time passes, the size of the wooden plates get bigger, which stretches the bottom lip even more. Among these people, a stretched bottom lip is attractive. It is clear that ideals of beauty can be radically different across cultures and periods of time. Who knows what beauty will look like a century from now? Whatever the ideals of tomorrow turn out to be, it is worth remembering that beauty is only skin deep and most definitely in the eye of the beholder.
If you'd like the full text with comprehension questions and vocabulary explanations, Book 5 is available on Amazon. The link is in the video description below.